It's that time to check in with the president, David Chartrand, who's out and joining us from Rome this morning because he was at the Pontiff's funeral this morning. So good morning, or good afternoon, good evening to you, I guess.
Good evening to me. It's actually, I think, 7 o'clock here in the night. And no, it was a beautiful ceremony. I think it was about 400,000 people there.
Yeah.
And it was just mind-boggling to see so many people and from all over the world. And it was really high security because you had, I believe, 130 world leaders and dignitaries.
Mm-hmm.
So you had helicopters flying everywhere. You had drones. You had security like I've never seen so much security in my life.
Right.
And just everywhere, So, but it was just again to protect, I guess, to ensure that nothing would happen to the world leaders that were here to pay homage and show their respect to Pope Francis. And I was so glad that we came, and I was able to bring our respect from the Reverend Métis government and from our citizens and our Christian followers and back in Manitoba. And I didn't see anybody else. I was hoping I could see somebody else. I didn't see any other Indigenous leaders.
The national chief was there from the Assembly of First Nations.
Okay, I did not see her.
Yeah.
Wow, 400,000 people.
Exactly.
But she, I think, I don't know if she came with the Governor General. Maybe that's why she'd be then sitting in a different location. I was actually standing with the far back, and we had to push our way through the crowd, and I was very pleased that we got to where we are. So Sarah were very pushy and got ourselves through the crowd, level after level, and because it was full. I tell you, tight as tight can be. And I think I did over 10 kilometers, and I got plantar fasciitis. I could hardly walk right now.
Oh my goodness!
I'm just suffering with my legs. And yesterday, prior to that, the day before, we did about 6 kilometers, 7 kilometers maybe. Because we went to the wake. Well, we call it a wake back home.
Yeah.
But it's a reigning state.
Right.
So we went to the Vatican and we had to wait, I think, about 3 hours in line. And we made our way through the crowd. And 3 hours later, we were able to get in front of course, Pope Francis in a wooden coffin. And but they were pushing you right out as fast as you got in. And I wouldn't let. I just stood there first. I said, no, I'm going to pray. And I did my, of course, Holy Cross on my forehead and chest, and made a short prayer on behalf of Reverend Métis and thanking Pope Francis for everything he's done and showing the respect he showed us. And let's not forget, 3 years prior to that, we came. He invited us to come to his place, and I brought cabinet, I brought elders, I brought survivors, and we all had a chance to speak with Pope Francis and see the real person, that, because you see him as a pope, you see him as somebody that's the closest to God in the context of the way the religion of the Catholic Church works. But to be there now, to see him as like somebody visiting you at your kitchen table, it was so humbling for us to see how humble he is, how just basically like every kind of good person that you'd visit, and an elder you'd visit, and of course our elders are always so nice and appreciative when you go, like even when we deliver firewood. Derek Danielson tells me over and over how much times these people say thank you and thank you and thank you and trying to give you tea and trying to invite you inside for lunch, and so, and that's the way our elders are. It's our culture, and similarly, that's how he treated us when we came to see him here. And what was so amazing too was during COVID era. COVID was still in activity in the world, and we watched him as he come into the room, and he had a hard time walking. And he had to step one little step up, and he had a hard time lifting his legs. But he sat down, made his way there, and then what touched us forever, and everybody that was there, because like Barb Flaherty, she started crying because the Pope shook her hand. He actually shook all 50 hands, all 50 people.
Wow.
That was not in the agenda. It was not in the itinerary. He caught everybody off guard, and it was such a touching experience to see the real person. He is a real person, but he's there to represent, of course, the highest and biggest church of the world. And so, from my perspective, I was very touched. And then when I took a self-government agreement with me. And this is a story I'll never forget because, I took it because we just signed it in Canada in June 2021 or July 2021, July 6th, and so I took it along with me, but I took the French version and the English version, and I wanted him to sign the English version, so because I don't think he spoke French, but anyways, I took the wrong version, the French version, when I went up. Because I let all of our people shake their hands, and I was waiting to the end. And so when I went up there, I didn't realize I took the French version, and it was for not him to sign, because he never read it.
Right.
I told him about it. I told him what this is all about and what this does for us, and how we waited 150 years for this day to happen in our country, and what Riel did and what the church did. And because Father Rashad was very active and entrusted by Riel to negotiate for him on the Manitoba Act, which became part of the Constitution of Canada. And so, because Riel couldn't take his spot there because he was, of course, a bounty on his head, dead or alive. So if you could think about that experience looking there, here I am, nervous can be. But I never...
You
see me, I know, you see me in crowds, and I'm never nervous, but to be the Pope, because to meet the Pope and to speak with him personally, it was something I was just nervous. And then when I asked him to bless the self-government agreement, he asked for a pen, and then he signed it. And people need to understand this about the Vatican. The Vatican is a country. We all say Rome, right? But the Vatican in Rome is an actual country. And when he's, of course, the Pope is the head of that country. And then, so he actually, initiating and signing it, they were all paranoid now, all the cardinals that were there and all the advisors around them. And then to make matters worse, I took the wrong one. and so I went back and I realized what I did. And I wanted to take the English version for him to sign that too then. And then security wouldn't let me. And then the cardinal and him waved to me to come through, and I went through, and I went back, and then he signed the English version one. And then, again, I was just so happy, big a smile. You could probably think in your mind, I always smile. And I walked away just clutching this self-government agreement that is going to go in our museum and our heritage center. The Pope resonating with Father Rashad 150 years before, helping us negotiate our self-government. Now the Pope signing it. And then he calls me as I was walking away, and then he starts laughing. He waves, because he knows I'm nervous.
Yeah.
And he waves the pen at me and says, "Do you want the pen?" And he kind of chuckled and laughed, and it just made me feel at ease. But that I'll never forget. I'll never forget that. So today, actually, I did CBC with Harry Hitchcock and National.
Yeah, I wasn't up at 6. Sorry.
Yeah, Cowboy watched it this morning.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Cowboy saw, but I took my mom, my sister-in-law Bernice Chartrand gave me a rosary, and in there she built in a little where the Virgin Mary would go. She had my mom's face in there, a picture of my mom. And so I wore that today on the CBC this morning because I wanted to make sure my mom would never, of course, ever come to Rome. She died 14 years ago. Even if before that, we asked her she'd never would have come. Anyway, so she'd be too scared because she'd be too nervous because she didn't speak English. She spoke broken English at the end of her life. But I took that with me to honor her. And I showed it. I told her Hitchcock about what it was, what it meant to me. And that's why if you ever see purple on whether it's my jackets or anything of that nature, it's to remember my mom, because that's her favorite color, purple, on flowers, anything you add, purple is her favorite. So I showed the beads, the rosary this morning, and on CBC National. Well, I talked about, of course, my reason of coming and the Pope and everything else. But I hope my mom's proud of me watching me this morning, and from Duck Bay, Manitoba, all the way to Rome. So little Métis boy from the West. So it's, you just think about how far we actually have come. But it's something that I hope that they recognize that for me is to come represent my people and to say thank you to the Pope, show appreciation for what he did and how he treated us. And at the same time that, we should, as Indigenous people, never forget. He's the only Pope that's ever apologized for the wrongs of what they did and admitting it at the same time. Because what he stated actually in the context of his apology, he apologized for the harms done. He apologized to all Indigenous people of Canada and this is his own words, for the deplorable conduct of these members of the Catholic Church, which is, of course, those priests and nuns that did these things. So deplorable, very deplorable in many different ways. And I ask for God's forgiveness, he said. And I want to say to you with all my heart, I am very sorry. And I join my brothers, the Canadian bishops, for your pardon. That's his own words. And he came to see that and personally tell us that in Canada's soil, in our own backyard. So that's powerful because he could apologize right from here in the Vatican. That's what he usually speaks on.
I was there. I said I was there, and I was with the NCTR at that time, and we had the memorial cloth that lists the names of children who didn't come home and children that passed. And he actually came in. I thought he was going to ditch us, but he actually came into the chapel and he actually blessed that memorial cloth.
Wow.
Yeah. So he was like literally an inch from us. And I got kind of choked up because, for a lot of those children, unfortunately, that was the only religion they knew. And so to be acknowledged in that fashion was pretty special.
Oh, it must have been. You look at even now, like he's the, I think, the seventh Pope in history that's going to be buried in the Church of Mary, Saint Maria Maggiore. And that's we went to that church when we came to meet the Pope because we were told by the priest and Archbishop Father Richard Gagnon also told us that the priest would walk into that church unexpectedly. Like usually you'll see always has protection of all sorts around him.
Oh yeah.
But he'd walk in that church all alone and go pray in there. And all these trips before he left international, on the return, he went inside there to pray. And the people, of course, would always be in awe. Nobody knew when he'd come or when he'd show up. But he'd show up in the middle of the night and in the morning or the afternoon, and he'd come and pray in there. And that's where now he's, because all our 50 delegates went to that church, and we did prayers in there. And the Father Archbishop Gagnon actually prayed in there for us. And when we look back now, that's where he's chosen. And that's in a poor part of Rome. That church usually has the citizens that are more impoverished and don't have the resources, but work hard and try to make a living. And that's where you want to be buried. You want to be buried with those people. Actually, at the end, that's what meant so much to him. He actually had the poor sitting at the steps of the church and waiting for his body to arrive.
Yeah.
So he was really a people person. He'd fight for people. And let's not forget, he also opened the Vatican to start recognizing women. And he also basically said, "Who am I to judge?" When they try to challenge him on the LGBT+2 community, he said, "Who am I to judge?" So he actually put the Vatican in another direction. Now it's going to be hard for the new one that's going to be selected through the conclave, which is starting shortly, and the new pope will come out. But how do you change the new direction that this pope has taken the church now? They can't come back and unapologize now. They have to come back and commit themselves to helping our healing journey. And as you heard from many, for others throughout, they said this is the true beginning of our healing now, that the Pope has come here to finally admit and apologize, because every one of them has denied it. So it's good to see that this change of healing. And I said to media here, and I said to many I speak on, like many have suffered greatly. Like I was only whipped in my wrists and my calves, and then my hair was also put up in a bunch of elastics, and it just embarrassed me because I had long hair. And so, but again, the nuns did that, not a priest. And so, but when you look at history, like the others that were tortured in so many ways, sexually brutalized, and suffered greatly, left this world with such pain and horrific memories, so and then the children after that get affected by that. So it's a journey. It took decades and decades to destroy, an attempt to destroy people. And I said, that's what they try to do to me. They try to take my language away from me. My mom only spoke Soto. She never went to school a day in her life. So when the nuns did that to me, I asked my mom that question. I said, they just beat me in school. They really hurt me because they didn't whip my hands because they're stronger in their hands. The skin's stronger. They took out. She had a red rubber cord. I know there's a metal bar that I seen it, and she'd whip me in my wrist where your soft skin, and that it's like fire. Mm-hmm. It hurt so much, and not because I did anything wrong in school. It's because I spoke Soto, but that's the only language I knew, and until eventually I started learning English and speaking better English. But even by accident, I still spoke Soto because that's all I spoke at home.
Right.
And then I remember crying in the lakeshore all the way home because she wants to put about 100 elastics in my hair. I had to sit in front of the school class like school mates all day, and they stared as, of course, all of them were putting their head down laughing. Mm-hmm. And I had my hair in a ponytail, not a ponytail, straight up like a stick on the middle of my head. And I couldn't take off the elastics. So I went crying home all the way in the lakeshore. I'll never forget that deep snow. And to get to my mom and tell her. And she took a scissor out and cut it, and she said, Mano. And meaning, of course, that if I speak Soto back home, that means just let it go. Leave it alone. Mm-hmm. And then I thought about later in life, what could she have done anyway? She didn't speak English.
Yeah.
How could she have defended me? So again, I've forgiven the church and I've forgiven what they've done, and it was wrong because I have to heal myself on that. Mm-hmm. But what I could say and openly say right now, they never took my language away from me. I still speak my language, and they never took my culture away. I still, if anybody's more proud of the culture than anybody that it's going to be me, mm-hmm. of my culture and my people. So from that perspective, they didn't take it. They couldn't beat it. They couldn't steal it. They tried. But there's others that have been traumatized even worse. So I think this healing journey that Pope Francis has started will be really something that makes such a big difference. Now, I want to get off that topic. I want to get up to another topic. I see Trump there. He's far away. I couldn't see him. Mm-hmm. He's not in front of me. He's way the hell down there. We took some pictures to the phone. You could see him way in the front there. And I think that's why he has so much security because of him.
Right.
He's not a really liked man anyway. But of course, he's trying to make us the 51st state, and mm-hmm. he's trying to economically hurt us and destroy Canada, and to bow to him and want us to basically become Americans. So he can take our water, take our natural resources, take our minerals, mm-hmm. and that'll never happen. Nope. As leaders have said in Canada, it'll never happen. So right now we have an election race happening. Yeah. Monday we'll know who the next leader will be, what party will be leading this country in Canada. And all of us have a responsibility now, and I say this openly to all our listeners, but we have a responsibility. We have to go out and vote. I know a lot of people say, I don't give a shit, I don't care, it doesn't bother me. It does bother you because they set policies. They set things that make a big difference to your future and your kids' future. Yeah. And so it's important that you vote. And that's in some places in the world, they die just to have the right to vote. And so we have a chance to make our voices heard. And what we did, of course, there was a full-page ad we took in the Free Press showing the answers to we asked 8 to 10 questions to each party. Mm-hmm. We took the 3 most popular questions that our people wanted to know. One was land claims, one was the treaty, and then the other one, I think, was education or housing. But when you look at it, we got response from every party, including the Bloc Québécois, who supported every one of them. Mm-hmm. And the Green Party supported everyone, NDP supported everyone, and the Liberals supported everyone. And but the Liberals were more broader in their answers. They were actually clearly writing little paragraphs to each one. Mm-hmm. They're only ones, and you can see that, of course, in the Free Press article. But it's to give our people a choice to look at, say, which party is going to care about my children? Which party is going to care about our future? What party is going to try to make a difference for the betterment of my kids and my family? Mm-hmm. Well, the government impacts you. They take your taxes, and we've got to fight to get our taxes back. The only party that did not respond, did not answer one question, is the Conservatives. It's not the first time they've done this to us. during the Harper era, they never would respond to us. And Poilievre, for some whatever reason, his party decided they're not going to answer the questions and the concerns that we have as Métis people. Where do we fit into their vision? How do we fit into their party's future? And he didn't answer one question. So if you still want to vote Conservatives and say you care about the Métis, you care about your family, then I want you to ask yourself that question. How come he's not answering your questions, your concerns? So if he does care, he should have taken them seriously and responded. So you still can vote. That's your business. How you vote. You want to vote Conservatives, you go right ahead. But if you don't vote, I don't think you have a right to complain after.
No. Because
you have a chance to make a difference. You have a chance to choose a party. And I think at the end of the day, we need to choose a party that's going to fight Trump. That's because our economy is going to be affected. Don't take it lightly, people. Right now you can see the economy is being affected. Cars prices are going to go up. There's other housing, lumber, all these things. Food prices are going up. And it's all going to get worse if this fight continues and we don't outsmart them or create new partnerships in the world. And that's what the new Prime Minister must do. And right now, all polls are saying the Liberals are going to win because they got Carney. Carney is, of course, a specialist in economy. He was banker governor for not only us, but for England and also for Canada. And so he took them out of recession, took us out of recession. So he's a brilliant man on many fronts. Because when you talk to economy or economist experts, by far of all the leaders, he's the top. There's not a question about it. And I'm not saying, well, vote. He's telling us to vote Liberal. You can vote Liberal and vote for a party you believe will make a difference for you. But make sure that they are going to win too. Because if we have a party we support as Métis, but they don't win, well, then we got to wait 4 years until they could come back and win, and then make a difference to help our families and do the right things for a better future for us. So I'm urging everybody, I'm asking everybody, I did my fighting for you for 28 years, 29 years now, and I go out there and I fight every day. And now it's your turn to go and spend 15 minutes of your time to go and cast your vote. And it's not for me. It's going to be for your children. It's going to be for your family, your community, and your nation. And First Nation is the same position. They have to fight for their issues, whether it's economies, whether it's even the issue of their water, clearly their lands. They need to fight to defend themselves, and whether it's education, whether it's housing, whether it's health, they need to choose a party that's going to make a difference for them. But they have to vote. And if they see you don't vote, well, they ain't going to care. So we need to make sure that we show them we will vote, and we're going to make sure that they know we voted. And they're going to think twice next time when they do not answer your question or our question, what's your priority and where do we fit it? So I'll close off shortly right away, but I want to send I got some special ones here that I see on congratulations. Okay. I want to go to that before I go to, you're not going to believe some of them here, Naomi.
Okay.
These are the true, really committed and proud. These are the people I get very proud of. I'll start off with happy 54th wedding anniversary going to Greg and Teresa Belmar of Selkirk, who are celebrating their anniversary on Thursday, May 8th. 54 years.
Wow.
That's nothing. Wait till I go to the next one.
Okay.
Happy 67th wedding anniversary to Herb and Claudette Boyer of St. Eustache, who are celebrating their anniversary on Friday, May 2nd. 67 years married together. Holy macaronis. That's something to be proud of. I'm sure his family and their families are so proud of him and their children. But they ain't through thick and thin, the toughest of times. Like my neighbor, Ralph, used to tell me, you know what? He said, today people get married and they divorce. It's no different than changing your socks to them. Get married one day, next month they're divorced. Anyways, happy 65th birthday going to Wendy Vogan. That's Jesse from Stanley Electric, Jesse Vogan, that's his mom.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Wendy, and I hope you're listening. Happy 65th birthday on April 23rd. Happy 51st birthday is going to Kat Patno.
Oh, yes.
She's 51.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. She's in Toronto right now, and she participated in some kind of play, not a play, a movie, or not a documentary.
Oh.
She did. And so they're showing it, and so she's going to watch herself in Toronto, I guess.
Nice.
Movie star. You'll have to ask her for autograph.
Okay, I will.
Yeah. Happy 64th birthday going to Bobby Church out in the Northwest region. Happy birthday, Bob. Hope Sally spoils you. Celebrating his birthday on Tuesday, April 29th. Happy 48th birthday going to my son-in-law, John Sanderson. He's actually celebrating his birthday on Friday, May 2nd. It's going to cost me money, I'm sure. I'm sure my daughter will be calling me, Dad, you got to buy him something. And happy 56th birthday is going to Melinda Aney, director of Beyond Borders, and she's also working out in the Southwest region, so making things a little more firm and making sure the region is running smoothly. So happy 52nd birthday to Melinda Aney. And I was wondering why her hair was turning gray. Now I know. So anyway,
you're going to be in trouble.
I hope she's listening to hear me. She's trying to hide all that gray hair now. But I also wanted again to. I know I told Sarah to put it in here. Let's see. I know what it is. Here it is. It's regarding the announcement of Eveline. That's the apartment we built in Selkirk. It's done. It's full, I believe. Will is calling, is indicating that Eveline is full. The majority of the main floor is Meadow. It's pharmacy. We're opening a pharmacy there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's opening this summer. And I'll be there on Wednesday to do a ribbon cutting ceremony.
Awesome.
It doesn't tell me the time on his note. So anyways, that'll happen on, Sarah's rushing to my calendar right now at home. But it'll be in Eveline. And if you have not seen this, if you're a listener that's not far away, take a drive by there and see our beautiful Métis apartment block.
I did see it. It's beautiful.
It's 11 o'clock on Wednesday. I'll be there. And hopefully the flight and everything turns out well. I'm coming home Monday. And hopefully I can get to see people show up there. I know that just to see their building, because we add the sashes-style bricks right from 6th floor all the way to the bottom. And it is stunning. It's beautiful. The people that are living in there are so, so proud and so happy. Now, that you see is one. We have given the green light to set the second apartment, which we'll build at Roxy Lanes on Emerson. Of course, you all know we bought Roxy Lanes, and that will rip that building apart. It's old anyway. It's already past its due date. And so that's going to come down, and we will build a bigger apartment block there, but similar to the one on Eveline. So those are big announcements. And then, of course, I have a upcoming cabinet meeting. On Thursday. Is it written here? No. On Thursday. And I'm trying to find it in all of my notes here. On their cabinet meeting on Thursday, it's going to be by Zoom, and those are in the city can join. It's one of my ministers to deal with some policy discussions on government efficiency, and she's now put some policies that got to be approved by cabinet that'll become part of our government's rules in operation. So anyway, so again, I'll look forward to chatting with cabinet. I'll give cabinet an update when I get home. And I bought each cabinet minister a little bit of holy water from the Vatican. And, of course, Naomi, I got you one.
Thank you.
And so you don't talk about me. Anyways, but again, I look forward to seeing my cabinet. I always like our cabinet meetings. And Melinda Aney just texted me saying, I heard you. So, yeah, you got white hair, and I got white hair. I'm not shy of it, Melinda.
Told you you're in trouble.
Well, you got to have fun. You got to have a joke. Anyways, with that being said, I'll say goodbye, and I hope the people are proud. I did my best to represent as best I can to show our pride of who we are. And I tell you, a lot of people really stopped to look at my jacket. They saw the Métis coming right away. They said, "Oh, it's the Métis." I'm not joking. Other people know who we are. Yeah,
nice.
They said that's Métis. Even this reporter coming by and said, "It's soon as I seen you walking, said, I don't think he recognized who I was personally. Even CBS, it's a international American station.
Yeah.
Oh, the Métis, she said, the Métis. And we just buy her a jacket. And she asked me to do an interview, and I got one from a different country. So our beadwork is known, and they know who we are. So I'm very, very proud of that. The more we push people to educate to be proud of who they are and be proud of what we did. We helped build Canada. We're part of that. We helped save Europe. We went to war and fight for that. So we should be very proud of our history as people. And they did not beat us. They did not. John A. Macdonald believed that we'd be gone in 100 years. He was wrong. We're stronger than we've ever been, and this is just the beginning. Wait till the election's over. We'll see other great things coming our way to do. Hopefully, it'll be somebody that's committed to us. Let's get it selected. If we get, according to what I just saw, the presentation by Carney here in the news, I was watching it, and he's committing $10 billion more, I believe, to economic development, and that is something I really want to push hard. And also the housing, the lumber, that is something we really need. And I'm going to be pushing him hard to get our share. And there's a few other big announcements he's making for Indigenous people. I wanted that, and he wants to get these settlement with our treaty. So I'm looking forward to those things. So congratulations to everybody out there that go out and vote. I want to thank you personally for as president. And go stand up for your family and your community and say your vote is going to be counted, and you're going to make sure they know you voted. Take care, everybody.
All right.
I'll be home Monday.
Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.